Okay, last set of notes for today. We're going to be talking about how to solve a quadratic equation. Okay, so solving them, what does that mean exactly? So what we're looking for when we are solving an equation are the roots. And quadratic roots are the points at which the parabola intersects the x-axis. And you've actually dealt with this before with linear equations and some of the others. You actually did a study island about this recently. But it's the points at which your line crosses the x-axis or intersects it. And so it's the same thing for a parabola or for a quadratic. It's where it's going to cross the x-axis. The thing with a parabola is that sometimes it crosses more than one place. Sometimes it crosses once, sometimes it crosses no times. So we have to look at that to decide how many solutions we're going to have. Now, roots is not something that you normally hear a solution called. More often or not, you're going to hear it called zeros, solutions, okay, or x-intercepts. More often than not, those are one of the vocabulary that you're going to hear when you're asking for something. You're going to be asked for a zero or a solution rather than a root, okay? But I want you to hear all of those terms. A root, a zero, solution, x-intercept, they're all the same. It's where that quadratic crosses or intersects with the x-axis, okay? So, number of solutions. Like I said, you could have two solutions. That's a parabola that crosses the x-axis in two locations. You could have one solution. That's where it intersects only at the vertex, which is on the x-axis. So that's also a possibility, or if it were here at the origin going up or wherever it would be. And then you have no solution, where you have something that never crosses the x-axis because it continues going up forever or going down forever, but it never does cross the x-axis, so there is no solution. Okay, so you either have two solutions, one solution, or no solution for a quadratic equation. So if we look down here at examples. All right, so first off, we need to graph these equations. So we're going to do that, and we're going to find out where it crosses the x-axis. So we're going to do this by hand. So first off, we're going to find the x-axis, the axis of symmetry. So x is equal to negative b divided by 2a. All right, in this case, b is 4, so negative 4, 2, and then a is 1. So we end up with negative 4 divided by 2, so x is equal to negative 2. Okay, so there is our x line of symmetry. So that means our line of symmetry is going to be right about here at x equals negative 2, just so you can see that. And then we also need to find the vertex, so the y value that goes with that. So y is equal to negative 2 squared plus 4 times negative 2 minus 5. So again, we take that equation. Everywhere we have a negative 2, we plug it in to find out what y is. So y is equal to 4 minus 8 minus 5. So that's negative 4 minus 5. Y is equal to negative 9. Okay, so our starting point here is going to be at negative 9. Okay, and then we need to find the other values. So again, you can take and do negative 3 here, plug negative 3 into the equation, and find out what the y value is. Okay, you can do that, or you can use your calculator. Okay, it's a little bit quicker, a little bit easier to use your calculator. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, so I'm going to plug in our value, or our equation here. So x squared plus 4x minus 5. We're going to do the table function, and we're going to look at these. Okay, so our vertex here is at negative 2, negative 9. So I'm going to go up and do negative 3, negative 8. I'm going to go up one more and do negative 4, negative 5. And then I'm going to go up one more to negative 5, 0. Then I'm going to go down, and I have negative 1, negative 8, 0, negative 5, and 1, 0 are my values here. So that's what I'm going to graph. I'm going to graph, let's see, -3, -8, -4, -5, and -5, 0. And then here I'm going to do -1, -8, 0, -5, and 1, 0. So we have a good idea of what our graph looks like. So we're going to go ahead and fill in our curve. And so here you can see that our intersecting points are here and here, right? This one is at 1, 0, and this one is at -5, 0. So our solution, when we write our solution, it's only the x value that we're worried about, because if you remember, the y value is always going to be 0. With an x-intercept, your y value is always 0 because you're not going up or down on the y-axis, you're staying on the x-axis. So our solution is going to be written like this. X is equal to, and then here we have a solution set, remember, because there's 2 solutions. So we're always just going to write our answers in solution sets. So x is equal to our little curly brace, -5, and 1. Those are our 2 x values. So 0, let's see, 1, 0, and -5, 0 is where it intersects the x-axis. So -5 and 1 are our answers. All right, so x is equal to -5, x is equal to 1, and we remember we write it from least to greatest. All right, so there is your example of how to solve an equation using graphing. Solve your quadratic equation using graphing. So I'm going to do a couple more examples for you, and then we will move on.